There's a report that the iPhone X is going to be discontinued. Well, this is kind of true. Let me explain. Every single year, Apple releases a whole new lineup of phones. Last year was the iPhone X, iPhone 8, and iPhone 8 Plus. All those phones had the interest in the public because they weren't the highest quality phones, but they're still iPhones, and then the iPhone X was $1,000. So people were like, is anyone gonna buy these phones? Well, the iPhone X, the one that people were doubting the most, still was the most sold phone in Q4. So to put that little fact into perspective, the iPhone X was the most bought phone out of any other phone in Q4, which is like November, December, etc. But the overall iPhone sales were down, and this is nothing to stress about or even be worried about because the whole entire smartphone market took a little dip. People aren't buying smartphones every single year anymore. I guess the technology is not advancing that much. I mean, that's what I kind of think, but still, people aren't buying phones anymore. That's why the iPhone sales took a little dip. But the revenue, which matters the most, the iPhone revenue, which accounts for about like 80% of Apple's revenue, still went up. So the iPhone sales went down, but because of the iPhone X's price tag, $1,000, the revenue still went up from last year, which is impressive. The shareholders in Wall Street are worried about Apple's business report because, I mean, the iPhone sales took a dip, but the revenue took a little upturn, which, I mean, it's confusing, right? I mean, but it's the $1,000 phone, so they're gonna make more money off of it, and that's what happened. But people are worried. But Tim Cook said that the iPhone X was a huge success. It was the most bought phone in Q4. I think that's a great thing. But there's a little report from South Korea that the iPhone X is going to be, quote, discontinued. What does discontinued even mean? That means that Apple's not going to sell iPhone X's anymore? Well, that's what's true. Apple is not going to sell any more iPhone X's next year when they release the new iPhones in September. And it all makes sense. The iPhone X is a once in a lifetime phone. It's the 10th anniversary phone. It's not like the iPhone 8 or iPhone 8 Plus. The next year's models might be named iPhone 9. It's not going to be named iPhone 11 because they're not. The iPhone X is a special edition. It's the reason why it's an X or iPhone 10. I mean, I say iPhone X, but I mean, I know I'm supposed to pronounce iPhone 10. Well, the iPhone X, it's a special edition, so that would make sense that Apple wouldn't sell it anymore, especially since it's selling now for $1,000. I mean, I'll get into the rumors in another video, but Apple's most likely going to stop selling the iPhone X, which makes perfect sense because it's a special edition iPhone. If you truly think about it, it doesn't make any sense for Apple to keep on selling the iPhone X next year when they release the new models, because then they're gonna cut the price from what, like $1,000 to $800, and then that $800 price tag is gonna compete with another existing new iPhone, and they don't want that competing sales. Who's gonna want what? So they're just gonna keep the iPhone 8 and iPhone 8 Plus. They're gonna keep on selling it, and when the new iPhones roll out in September or October or whenever the new phones come out, the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus will get a price slash. Maybe from $700 to $500, just like the iPhone 7 Plus last year. The report of the iPhone X being discontinued coincides with the report of the iPhone X production being cut in half in March. And this also makes complete sense because the iPhone X demand is increasing. So when the demand is increasing, you're gonna start cutting the supply. Because iPhone X, who is gonna buy the iPhone X that doesn't already have it? Really, just think about it. I mean, a couple more people are gonna buy it. I mean, a couple more people, I mean in millions. But the millions of people already bought it aren't gonna buy another phone. So start cutting the production so you don't have to waste that much money. And you're not gonna have iPhone X's all over the place when you're gonna discontinue the phone later that year. Which all makes sense. Apple, I'm sure, is already decreasing the supply of the iPhone X because the demand for it is also sharply decreasing. And later this year, when the new iPhones come out, you're not gonna see the iPhone X in stores anymore because it's gonna be, quote, discontinued. So if you want the iPhone X, you better get it right now. I mean, it's a pretty good phone, but for $1,000, do you really want it, or do you want another flagship? Maybe the S9 when that comes out. Maybe we'll see. The Pixel 2. There's other great phones out there that I should look into. The iPhone X is a one-of-a-kind iPhone from Apple. It's a very expensive, starting at $1,000, and it's only gonna be exclusive for a year because it's a 10 10th anniversary iPhone. But Apple's gonna release the iPhone 9 or iPhone 9S or whatever Apple's gonna call it. Who knows? iPhone 8S. Who knows what Apple's gonna call the next one? But Apple's gonna continue with that naming scheme and not start at iPhone 11 because the X stands for 10. But still, it still means X. I'll love to hear your opinion about the iPhone X possibly being discontinued later this year. And while you're doing that, make sure you hit that little bell icon to be notified whenever I post a video. And while you're doing that little thing, make sure you smash that subscribe button right here to stay informed. And I'll see you in the next one.